Okay, so yesterday you guys learned about Texas and how we acquired or got that territory, that area, a part of our United States. And so today we're going to talk about the Oregon country and the Oregon Trail and how that became a part of our country. So similar to yesterday, there's a very short reading we're going to go through. If you have not downloaded this reading on Canvas yet, go ahead and do that. We're going to go through and highlight just like we did yesterday, and then I will give you the steps for the rest of the activities for the day. And sorry if you can hear my son playing with his toys in the background. Okay, so Oregon country. So it says, back in Europe, hats made from beaver fur became a popular fashion accessory, prompting an explosion of the American beaver fur trade. And the fur trade became so large, so many people did it, that it nearly wiped out the eastern beaver population. So many people were trapping beavers and taking their furs for the trade that they pretty much wiped out the beaver population on the East Coast. So people who made their living from beavers traveled to the Northwest to find more. So I'm going to highlight that. So they realized we need to go to a different area to find more beaver. A lot of these mountain men, immersed themselves in Native American culture and married into Native American families, choosing to live in the Northwest rather than return to the Northeast to make trades. So these people who traveled to the Northwest, they were called mountain men, and they immersed themselves, basically made themselves a part of the Native American culture, married Native American women, and had families, and just chose to stay out in the Oregon Territory. So these men would meet at a yearly rendezvous. And if you look on the right side, rendezvous is a French word, and it means meet up. So they would meet yearly, where they socialized with other trappers and did business with Eastern merchants. And some of those merchants would be the American Fur Company, owned by a man named John Jacob Astor. So the mountain men met at yearly rendezvous, where they socialized and did business. As the beaver population in the Northwest also died out, and as beaver hats grew less fashionable, some mountain men started farming in Oregon. But many went back east and became guides to help others make their journey west. So the Northwest beaver population in the Northwest died out, and mountain men started farming in Oregon. So we still have people that are settling in Oregon Territory. The land the mountain men settled in was called Oregon Country. And if you look at a map of the United States today, Oregon Country is where modern-day Oregon is, Washington State, and Idaho, along with parts of Montana and Wyoming. The land had been claimed by the United States, Britain, Spain, and Russia. But the 1819 Adams-Onis Treaty and another treaty between Russia and the U.S. in 1824 basically kept Spain and Russia out. So they really had no part of Oregon Territory anymore. And so that meant the United States and Britain both wanted the territory, but they decided not to go to war over it and instead chose to control the land jointly. So the United States and Britain actually peacefully owned the Oregon Territory together. So the Oregon Trail. After the Panic of 1837, and at the height of the economic depression, which you guys actually learned about that with President Jackson's crash course video before spring break, many Americans chose to make the 2,000-mile trip from Independence, Missouri, a town in Missouri, to Oregon on the Oregon Trail. So after the Panic of 1837, sorry guys, many Americans chose to make the 2,000-mile trip from Independence, Missouri to Oregon on the Oregon Trail. The difficult journey generally took 6 months, and a wagon train of prairie schooners, that's how you pronounce that, which are wagons that look like ships from a distance, and there's a picture right above. So after that economic depression and people lost a lot of money, they chose to make that trip to basically start fresh out in Oregon Territory, and they used the Oregon Trail to do that. Missionaries were among the first to travel the Oregon Trail. Their reports of the beautiful land of the West encouraged others to follow. They believed that American expansion to the Pacific coast was a part of our manifest destiny. You guys learned that on Tuesday. It's the idea that the U.S. was chosen by God to spread across the continent, and that our expansion of the U.S. was the people's manifest or obvious destiny. So basically, the missionaries sent back all of these descriptions of what the land looked like and how great it was, and it convinced many people to follow out west. So those missionaries believed that our expansion to the Pacific coast was our manifest destiny, and they convinced others to join them. So what you're going to do for the rest of the lesson for today, there's a short video clip on Canvas. It's actually from part of a movie we would have watched all of in class. It's 3 minutes about the Oregon Trail. So I want you guys to watch that. I think you would have actually really liked the movie. So watch the 3-minute clip. And then after you watch the clip, there is a comic strip that I want you to download, and you're going to use the comic strip to fill in the boxes on the worksheet. The comic strip, the answers can come from anywhere in the comic. So it could come from the actual text. It could come from the little dialogue boxes. Anything and everything the answers can come from. So make sure you read through all of it. But if you have any questions, send me an email or a Canvas message, and I will get back to you guys to help you. So when you're done with the questions, submit the completed ones to Canvas, and then you are good for the lesson today. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later.